Ninja Gaiden 4 comes out in just a couple of months as of the recording of this video, and to say that this is dream come true material would be underselling it, especially after the spectacular failure of Ninja Gaiden 3 and the immense rise of the Souls genre and the Souls-like. They are all the rage these days. It seems like no one wanted to do hack and slash anymore, and that made the chances of Ninja Gaiden 4 happening very shallow. But hey, it is real, it is here. 2025 is the year of the ninja, and whether you're watching from the future, Ninja Gaiden 4 is already out, hopefully it's great. How did it end up being? Hope it's good. Or you are waiting for it and you want to get a bite, a taste of what the Ninja Gaiden series is all about. Today I'm gonna go over why the original Ninja Gaiden, the first 3D game, is absolutely worth playing. It's a 20 years old game, but it aged like a fine wine, and more often than not you will hear that it is still the best game in the series and one of the best hack and slash games ever made. Ninja Gaiden games are hack and slash games, and as you would expect with this sort of series, the combat gets better with every version, and that is absolutely true with Ninja Gaiden. The original was a lot slower, a lot more deliberate, and as we went on, Ninja Gaiden 2 made the combat a lot faster, added a lot more techniques, a lot more weapons, the combat became a lot more visceral. Ninja Gaiden 3, love it or hate it, it did some changes to the game as well, and there are many who think that 3 have the best combat in the series. And it is true, Ninja Gaiden 2 and 3 probably do have better combat, better moment-to-moment gameplay. But why are so many people still saying that Ninja Gaiden 1, the original, was the best? And you see, this comes down to the actual game design. There is almost a philosophical difference between how the original Ninja Gaiden was designed and how the sequels were. The sequels, the combat was the be-all end-all. That is all the games wanted to focus on. They're mostly about a combat arena after combat arena after combat arena, where the original Ninja Gaiden was an action-adventure game that happened to have the combat of a hack and slash game. The original Ninja Gaiden is what you can call a Metroidvania style game with a hack and slash combat. The game takes place over a number of open locations. It's the city of Tyrone, couple of dungeons, a ninja village, but most of them are interconnected, more so than you would think. And obviously the game is like still chapter based, and you usually will find a map and have very clear idea on this is where you wanna go. The game will make it clear to you. Still, you are free to explore, and it does have this almost old school Resident Evil game where, hey, this door will only be open with the biggest keys, and you find the biggest key later, come back, open it, and it advances and opens up a new area where you get to explore. Hey, this rock will only be destroyed by a really blunt object, and hey, Rachel have a really blunt object, let's destroy it. And you get the idea. Making the game designed like this goes a long way of making you feel accomplished. At the end, you feel like you conquered the land, you know the place like the back of your hand, but also it encourages exploration because this game, there are some very meaningful rewards off the beaten path. I feel like one of the coolest things about the Souls game, what makes them so popular, is that the game always gives you the sense of you wanting to explore, but also have that fear of maybe you will find something that you can't beat. But Ninja Gaiden, the original, kind of have that as well. Like here, I'm in this location, I just came out of the club, I know the red dot, okay, I have to go there. But I see that small, kind of almost like Y area on the map. Maybe I'll go there. I go over there and it's a bunch of tiny streets, and hey, I find a gold scarab. Now I can trade that and get some items. But these walls, the way they are designed, it's almost as if I can run over them. I do that and hey, I find a windmill shuriken. I find like a new projectile weapon that's great, and this is where like an old Xbox logo used to appear, but now you get a Team Ninja logo. Now I am fully recovered. That is so cool. You don't find stuff like that in the newer games. Exploring actually matters. Not only is it really cool that you had to use your brain to get to like such items, but projectile windmill shuriken is actually fantastic in this game, and it's just really cool that the game allows us, the game design allows us. What do you guys think? They're convinced? I hope so. If you like the video but you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. Over 70% of my viewers aren't, so you get to see more of me and my friends, the EX-Men. And yes, like, in my canon, Magneto is... I recruited him. Excuse the silliness and enjoy the rest of your video. One of the absolute biggest benefits of the game being a Metroidvania and the game having a strong level design in general is that every encounter can feel different. For example, sometimes the game will throw you in a very narrow combat arena, in a very narrow street, and now you have 3 enemies. But hey, remember, you can run up walls, so you can use that to your advantage and attack from unpredictable angles. Or maybe you found this completely optional arena challenge and we're gonna throw tons of enemies at you, but that means that you need like a big arena to move. And that makes every encounter feel unique and every encounter feel fresh. Something that I feel like kind of lacking in some of the newer character action games, and definitely at least in Ninja Gaiden 3. This game also goes a long way in allowing player expression and player individuality, and that comes down to even selecting a costume to choose. The costumes can debuff or buff you in some specific areas. That is amazing, but the game also obviously gives you like a lot of weapons. That's what every hack and slash game do, right? And they play differently, and you can have a favorite that you want to use. That's obvious. But the game also gives you like a lot of accessories that you can equip, and these can change how you play the game as well. Maybe you like the blue Azori mask, which looks kind of funny, but this one tremendously increases your attack damage, but now you're getting hit. Now you will lose a lot more damage if you got hit. Risk reward. Or maybe you want the game to be a little bit more forgiving, so you equip the White Fang mask. And this one will decrease your attack power, but then like you will get hit for less. It buffs your defense. That allows you to play the game in 2 different ways. Or maybe you will equip the thing that makes you get more currency, more essence once you knock down enemies. And then this essence you can use at the shop to buy like healing items, and maybe that is a play. Give you easier time to upgrade, easier time to buy healing items. This allows you to play the game in a number of different ways. And this also obviously goes with secondary items as well. There's a ton there to experiment with. To find a playstyle that suits you, to find the playstyles at school, and even the different accessories, the different weapons have some really cool effects, like for example the smoke bomb. This is one thing that we never saw in the follow-up Ninja Gaiden games. Once you place it, projectile enemies and enemies in general, they will have harder time hitting you. I think I made this guy freeze. I think I ruined his AI. That is so much fun. That gives you like a ton of different ways to express yourself, and that makes the game really cool. And the game just have a lot to it that is just really fun. Like at the beginning there is this boss fight against Dooku, a fight that you are supposed to lose, but you are actually able to win it, and if you do, I think that opens up the Master Ninja difficulty right away. That is just so cool. And down later in the game there is an optional fight with Rachel as well that you are supposed to lose, but maybe you can win. And speaking of Rachel, everything you're seeing right now is the Ninja Gaiden Sigma version of the game that is based on the Master Collection. I know that Ninja Gaiden Black is technically like the superior version, but I really like the Sigma because it looks more pleasant these days, and I personally do like Rachel. At least you can Spider-Man swing with Rachel, so that's kind of cool, and I do like her gameplay. It offers up something a little bit different than Ryu. She's slower but hits really hard. She has this move where you kind of like blend the hammer on them and swing. Whee! I think that's really cool, and Rachel is hot, so what is there to lose? But whatever version you're playing, this game is great. Now, I haven't talked about the actual combat yet, and I'm not going to, because obviously you just know how good Ninja Gaiden is. It's something that everyone knows, that these games have amazing combat. Everyone knows that these games are tremendously difficult. Although in my opinion Ninja Gaiden 1, the original, probably feels the most fair out of the other games, out of the series. It is one that feels the most fair, but obviously it is a difficult game. And Everything I've said right now was about the game having like a really good level design and really fun campaign. And I know that there will be the voices out there that is saying, I just want more focus on combat, especially because of repeat playthrough. And I get that, but I also feel like a strong level design makes that initial playthrough that much more fun. And in my opinion, the Ninja Gaiden games never shined in the story chapters anyways, especially like the OG Ninja Gaiden 2. I always felt like survival mode where you were fighting waves after waves of enemies was the most fun thing about the game. You're just getting gameplay against raw mobs, that is where the game is at its most fun. And Ninja Gaiden Black or Ninja Gaiden Sigma, they offer you survival mode. If you don't want to go through the level design, if you don't want to do any puzzles, whatever, you can just play in survival and just keep replaying the combat because what is there is really great and it could be very challenging as well. The survival challenges, they are really fun and they are really varied. Now obviously Ninja Gaiden is still an old game, so there is still that old game jank that you can expect, like enemies respawning, as that is always a little bit annoying. The game will put you in a lot of confined spaces against very aggressive enemies, and the camera can be really annoying to deal with. Like you have to beat the camera, you have to know how to deal with it. Obviously it's not up to par, it's not up to the standards that are set in 2025, so that can be irritating for some people. And anytime you have to shoot with the bow and arrow, that can be obnoxious. Well, that tower section, oh my god, I have hated this. But still, what is there, the core experience, the combat, is tremendous. It is so much fun and it keeps me coming back to the game once and once again. And I love how this game differentiates between the difficulties, how every difficulty level is varying. It's not only like the enemy replacement is different, the type of enemies you're fighting is gonna be different, but also like how much capacity of healing items you get to have and how many gold scarabs unlock what is different, so it keeps the experience feeling constantly fresh. And even with the boss gauntlet at the end, things will be like a little bit different once you get to like Master Ninja, and I found that to be like really enjoyable. The original Ninja Gaiden is a very special game. It's a game that is really well designed, where most of the hack and slash game have strong focus on the combat and is great, infinitely replayable. They usually ignore everything else. Ninja Gaiden feels like it's a almost perfect video game, where the action is amazing, the combat is amazing, the level design is really good, there is puzzles, there is even like more stories than the rest of the games afterwards. This game is really special and I think it's absolutely worth playing in 2025. If you're looking forward to Ninja Gaiden 4, I think the Master Collection is on a sale right now, so I absolutely recommend checking out Ninja Gaiden the original, because you're absolutely gonna fall in love with this series. If you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like or a comment, it helps the channel so much. I will be leaving a link to the Patreon, Discord, Twitter and Twitch pages in the description. Thank you so much for watching and stay safe.